There's a quiet fear many people carry as they age that one morning, the world will simply blur. Lights will seem harsher, letters on the page less sharp, and faces just a little harder to read. I'm Dr. Allison Ray, and for over 30 years, I've helped older adults protect not only their health, but their independence. And one of the most common, yet preventable causes of vision loss I see every day is cataracts. But here's the truth most people never hear. Your eyes aren't fading because of age alone. They're fading because the lens inside your eye, the clear crystal that focuses light, is slowly losing its defense against oxidation. And nature has already given us some of the strongest protectors, quietly growing in your garden or sitting in your fridge right now. So today, let's talk about 5 vegetables that can help protect your eyes from cataracts naturally. Let's start with one of nature's most powerful protectors, spinach. It might look humble on your plate, but inside those green leaves lies one of the greatest gifts for your eyes, a natural defense system built over millions of years of sunlight. Spinach is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 golden pigments that act like invisible sunglasses within your body. They live inside the lens and retina, forming a natural shield that filters out the harshest wavelengths of light, blue light from screens, UV rays from the sun, before they can burn or oxidize the delicate tissues of your eyes. Every time you look at a bright screen, step outside on a sunny day, or even drive under fluorescent light, those pigments quietly absorb the excess glare so your retina doesn't have to. Without them, your lens slowly becomes cloudy, the first step toward cataracts. I once had a patient named Martha, a retired librarian who told me she'd stopped going for her morning walks because sunlight made her eyes ache. She said, "Dr. Ray, it feels like the light goes straight through my skull." We didn't start with drops or prescriptions. We started with food, a single, steady ritual. 1 cup of steamed spinach drizzled with olive oil every evening. At first, she smiled politely, as if it sounded too simple to matter. But 3 weeks later, she returned with a sparkle I hadn't seen in months. "The light doesn't hurt anymore," she said softly. She'd gone back to her walks, without sunglasses. It wasn't magic. It was cellular nourishment. Those pigments had begun to refill her body's reserves, restoring her internal filter, layer by layer. Here's the science behind it. Lutein and zeaxanthin are fat-soluble compounds. That means they can't travel through your bloodstream unless paired with a healthy fat, like olive oil, avocado, or even a few nuts. So if you eat spinach raw in a salad, add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. If you prefer it blended, pair it with half an avocado in a smoothie. That combination doesn't just taste rich, it multiplies the absorption rate by up to 5 times. And when these nutrients finally reach your macula, the tiny golden center of your retina responsible for sharp vision, they settle there like gentle guardians, protecting your sight every single day. So the next time you think of spinach as just a vegetable, remember, it's a living shield, a quiet green force that absorbs the light so your eyes don't have to. We've all heard it since childhood. Eat your carrots for better eyesight. And unlike many old sayings, this one is rooted in real, solid science. Carrots are nature's orange treasure, packed with beta-carotene, a plant pigment that your body converts into vitamin A, one of the most essential nutrients for eye health. Vitamin A acts as a natural moisturizer and protector for the cornea, the clear, outer layer that focuses light into your eye. When the cornea is nourished and smooth, light passes through effortlessly, and your vision stays sharp and clear. But when your body runs low on vitamin A, the surface of your eyes begins to dry and lose its protective barrier. That dryness leads to tiny microtears, cloudiness, and eventually, an increased risk of cataracts, the slow fogging of the eye's internal lens that dims vision over time. I remember a gentleman named Peter, in his late 60s, who told me, "Dr. Ray, I thought carrots were just for kids." He had early signs of lens clouding and constant dryness that made reading exhausting. Instead of prescribing another drop, I encouraged him to rebuild his vitamin A stores naturally. Within weeks of including carrots daily, sometimes raw, sometimes roasted, his eyes no longer felt gritty or tired, and his optometrist noticed visible improvement in his corneal surface. That's because beta-carotene doesn't just protect the outer layer, it also supports what's happening deeper inside. It helps your body produce rhodopsin, a light-sensitive pigment in the retina that allows you to see in dim conditions. When vitamin A is deficient, rhodopsin production slows down, and that's why one of the earliest symptoms is night blindness, difficulty seeing at dusk or adjusting to headlights while driving. Carrots also contain smaller amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that protect the lens and retina from light-induced damage. Together, these compounds act as internal sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and preserving the natural transparency of the eye's tissues. Just one medium carrot provides more than 100% of your daily vitamin A requirement, but it's not about a single day, it's about consistency. Your eyes thrive on steady nourishment, not occasional boosts. The best way to benefit? Grate fresh carrots into salads for a gentle crunch, blend them into warm soups for a soothing meal, or roast them lightly with olive oil and a pinch of turmeric. The curcumin in turmeric enhances absorption and adds an extra layer of anti-inflammatory protection. So when you reach for that bright orange carrot, remember, you're not just eating a vegetable, you're feeding your eyes a daily dose of light, clarity, and defense. Next comes broccoli, one of my all-time favorite detox foods and one I recommend to nearly every patient over 50. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary vegetable, but inside every floret lies a unique compound called sulforaphane, one of nature's most powerful cellular protectors. Sulforaphane works by activating your body's own detoxification system, stimulating the production of natural antioxidants that your cells already know how to make. And the most important of those is glutathione, a molecule so essential that scientists often call it the master antioxidant. Why is glutathione so critical for your eyes? Because your lens, the clear window that focuses light, is constantly bombarded by ultraviolet rays, oxidative stress, and tiny inflammatory reactions that occur with aging, stress, and poor circulation. Over time, those microscopic stressors begin to oxidize the proteins inside the lens, causing them to clump and scatter light. That's what we eventually recognize as the cloudy haze of a cataract. But here's where glutathione does its magic. It acts like a molecular cleaning crew, moving through the lens and neutralizing unstable oxygen molecules before they can cause damage. Think of it as an internal polish that keeps the glass of your vision clean. Now, the problem is that as we get older, our natural glutathione levels drop sharply by as much as 30 to 40%. That's why foods that help your body rebuild its own glutathione are so important, and broccoli is one of the very best sources for that. A fascinating study published in Clinical Nutrition followed adults over 60 who ate broccoli 3 or more times a week. The results were striking. These individuals had significantly higher glutathione levels in their bloodstream and eye tissues, and a much lower risk of early lens opacity compared to those who rarely ate cruciferous vegetables. Beyond sulforaphane, broccoli also provides vitamin C, beta-carotene, and lutein, creating a powerful synergy that protects every layer of your eye, from the cornea to the retina. It's not just cleansing, it's fortifying. When I talk to my patients, I often describe broccoli as a spring cleaning for your vision. It helps clear away the oxidative dust that builds up silently, day after day, until one day you realize your world has dimmed. And the best part, it's so easy to add to your life. The key is gentle cooking. Steam it lightly for just 3 to 4 minutes, long enough to soften it, but not enough to destroy the precious sulforaphane. Avoid boiling or overcooking. Excessive heat can break down the very compounds that make broccoli special. A squeeze of fresh lemon not only adds flavor, but also enhances the absorption of its vitamin C, giving your eyes an extra antioxidant boost. You can even blend a few florets into your morning smoothie, toss them into soups, or pair them with olive oil and garlic for dinner. Because sometimes, the simplest vegetables, when eaten with care, become your body's most powerful medicine. Broccoli doesn't just protect your eyes, it reminds them how to heal. One of the main reasons our eye lenses begin to lose their youthful clarity is oxidative stress, the gradual damage caused by unstable oxygen molecules, or free radicals, that build up from sunlight, pollution, and even normal metabolism. And that's exactly where red bell peppers shine like a beacon of protection. These bright, crisp vegetables are bursting with vitamin C. In fact, cup for cup, they contain nearly twice as much vitamin C as oranges. It's no exaggeration to say that vitamin C is your lens's best friend. Inside your eye, there's a delicate fluid that keeps the lens hydrated, flexible, and transparent. Vitamin C helps maintain that balance by neutralizing oxidative molecules and stabilizing collagen, the very protein that gives the lens its shape and strength. Without enough vitamin C, those proteins start to clump and stiffen, causing the lens to scatter light instead of focusing it. That's how the early haze of cataracts begins, not suddenly, but slowly, like fog creeping over clear glass. Think of vitamin C as your anti-yellowing agent, polishing away that dullness before it ever begins. It keeps the lens clear, the retina nourished, and even strengthens the capillaries that feed your eyes with oxygen. Scientific research supports this power. A large-scale study published in ophthalmology found that adults with consistently high vitamin C intake had up to a 33% lower risk of developing cataracts later in life. A simple yet profound reminder that daily nutrition can do what no eye drop can. And the best part? It's easy to enjoy. Eat red peppers raw in salads, slice them for a crisp afternoon snack, or blend them into smoothies for a natural burst of sweetness. Even if you lightly sauté or roast them, a generous portion still delivers protection because the antioxidants remain active even after cooking. Nature designed red peppers not just to color your plate, but to color your world, keeping the lens of your eye as bright as their skin. And finally, kale, the heavyweight champion of eye nutrition, a vegetable so rich in protective compounds that I often call it the green guardian. Every leaf of kale is packed with lutein and zeaxanthin, the same carotenoids that give your retina its golden glow and shield it from blue light damage. Together with vitamins K, A, and beta-carotene, they form an antioxidant army that keeps your lens flexible, clear, and resilient. Here's why this matters. Your eye lens isn't just a piece of glass. It's a living tissue made of proteins that must stay hydrated and elastic. As oxidative stress and glycation, the reaction between sugar and protein, increase with age, those proteins lose their structure and start to harden. That's when you notice glare, halos, or dullness in colors. But the nutrients in kale work to reverse that internal stiffness. They calm inflammation, strengthen microcirculation, and support glutathione, your body's own natural lens cleanser. One landmark study in JAMA Ophthalmology revealed that people who ate kale or collard greens at least twice a week had a 23% lower risk of cataracts and a slower progression of age-related macular degeneration. That's not coincidence. That's cellular repair in action. Kale is also rich in chlorophyll, the green pigment that purifies your blood and improves oxygen flow to the retina and optic nerve. When circulation improves, your vision feels different, sharper, lighter, more vibrant, as though someone quietly adjusted the focus back to where it belongs. To make the most of kale's nutrients, pair it with healthy fats, sauté it gently in olive oil, blend it into smoothies with avocado, or massage raw kale leaves with a touch of lemon juice to make them tender and easier to digest. Every serving is like sending a quiet reminder to your body, I'm still investing in clarity, strength, and light. And years from now, when you look out your window and see the world still bright and sharp, you'll know it wasn't luck. It was nourishment. So, here's what I tell my patients. You don't need fancy pills, endless supplements, or complicated routines. You just need 5 simple vegetables: spinach, carrots, broccoli, red peppers, and kale. Each one adds a quiet layer of protection, a living shield that helps keep the windows of your world clear. Every bite sends your eyes a message: you're still cared for. You're still being nourished. Because every cell of your vision depends on what you feed it, not just food, but consistency, love, and intention. When you choose these vegetables daily, you're not only protecting your sight, you're protecting your independence, your confidence, and the moments that make life rich. The morning light through the window, the words in your favorite book, the faces of the people you love. That's what real eye health is about, not just clarity, but connection. So tonight, when you prepare your meal, remember this simple truth. You're not just cooking, you're caring for your future vision, one plate at a time. If this message helped you, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who deserves to see life clearly again. Small actions ripple outward. You never know whose life you might brighten. I'm Dr. Allison Ray, and I'll leave you with this thought. Age doesn't dim the light within you. It simply asks you to tend it gently every single day. Because clarity isn't lost with time, it's rebuilt through care.